Hi everybody, how you guys doing today? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Happy Veterans Day for those of you that live here in the U.S. Sorry, hopefully you guys didn't hear that echo, but still learning. That's all right. You know, aren't we all? Hopefully we all are. I don't know. I still am. Again, this channel is to help promote health and wellness. Some people call it holistic healing. I also like to think of the medicine wheel. It's not just physical or mental or emotional. It's all of them: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all of that. I'm still learning and studying this stuff. If this is something that you know something about and you can even add to, I'd love to hear it. I don't necessarily think that I'm the expert. I think I'm learning, and I want to continue to learn and continue to go, and hopefully that you do too, and you'll come with me on this adventure. Now, I do want to start interviewing people coming up, but we will start today with the Morter March. I'm going to grab my little booklet. Now, what is the Morter March? The Morter March is a self-balancing technique. It was created by the same developers as B.E.S.T, Dr. Morter, Ted Morter Sr., I believe, because there is a Ted Morter Jr. He also is a doctor, continuing to carry on his dad's work. So, awesome. But what the Morter March is it's a way that in between sessions, clients can balance themselves, or if something crazy is going on, you're feeling, again, out of balance is the word I'd use, but, it doesn't even have to be that, just, feeling emotional. I've even heard of people who had physical problems, and they used this Morter March, and it helped to alleviate or relieve. I'm not sure if it completely got rid of. I will relay those stories in a moment. Also, again, you can look for Morter March videos. There's some great ones by Dr. Ted and Tom. I'm sure there's Sister Sue as well. There's some great videos by other just B.E.S.T practitioners. I will try to find one of those and link it below. And then that way, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you'll be able to click on their video and watch it. I will just try to describe it the best I can. Unfortunately, I don't really have the room to demonstrate it for you. I might be able to scoot back a little bit in my chair or away from the computer and somewhat try to demonstrate it from you. But anyway, so this is what it says. Morter March is an exercise which helps to improve neurological balance. Retime internal communication by extending large muscle groups and their joints through a full range of motion. You can do this exercise as part of your regular walk outside, or you can do this independently. So that's part of why Morter March is in the name. Is it's not the time of year you can only do this in March. It's that you're marching forward. Just read a couple directions for you and then kind of see if I can demo it or explain it a little bit better with showing. So you want to stand comfortably in erect and relaxed position. Could you do this in your chair? Possibly. I think standing would definitely be a lot stronger and better. It's kind of a form of a stretch even. Okay, you want to step forward with your left foot, keeping your right foot flat on the floor. Bend left knee so that you can't see your toes. I'm going to show you this little picture of this lady right here if I can. Whoa. So that's what you should look like when you're in the Morter March position. And so this is her front leg and her knees bent. So if she looked down, she'd be seeing her knee, not her toes. That's what you'll look like when you're doing it. So you step forward with your left foot, keeping your right foot flat on the floor, bending your left knee just slightly enough to where if you looked straight down, you wouldn't be able to see your toes. From that position, you're going to stretch your right arm up to a 45-degree angle with your hand open and thumb pointed up, stretching your left arm down and back to the 45-degree angle with your hand open and thumb pointed down. So again, we'll go back to this picture. You can see this thumb's pointed down, this thumb's pointed up. Now turn your head towards the side of your raised arm, looking toward your raised hand. Take in a deep breath and hold it. Close the eye away from the raised arm. Okay, so if your right arm is up, you'll close your left eye. Close the eye that is raised away from the raised arm and stretch. And then you're going to think. In your mind, you're going to say this, not aloud, and I will say this out loud for demonstration purposes, but I will also do it one time in my head, and so I'll just, it'll be quiet. This is how we first have you start off with it, and then you can play with the wording a little bit more, kind of like the kinesiology. Wording does matter, or the applied kinesiology. What questions you ask, how you ask them, how you phrase them, it all matters. So this says, I am thankful and grateful for my perfect goal. blank. Now that can be anything. And then think it a second time. So thankful and grateful for my perfect health. We'll just go with that. 1. I'm thankful and grateful for my perfect health. 2. I'm thankful and grateful for my perfect health. 3. Okay. But the third time, so you guys can see that third time, you're going to close both eyes and think it. So twice, just closing the eye that's furthest from the arm extended. And now the reason why I say the arm extended is because we're going to do this both sides. We're going to have one to where the right arm's going to be up, and then we'll switch it and the left arm will be up. And when the left arm's up, we'll want to close the right eye, because again, it's the one furthest from the arm up. Exhale and repeat the maneuver with the opposite leg, arm, and eye position. Repeat the sequence 2 or more times, fewer if you become tired. Do this Morter March workout twice a day. Also note, if you feel unstable, you can spread your feet wider apart from side to side or lean against a chair for stability. So I'm going to back up a little bit, and again, I won't be able to do this. I don't have enough room. But if I'm take a step forward with my left foot, I'm going to raise my right arm, 45-degree angle. I'm going to even tilt my head a little bit towards it. I'm going to close my left eye, and I'm going to look up at that thumb. This arm, however, though, is going to be, and if I can, back behind me like that. And so you're going to, almost like reaching for the stars. You want to stretch your arm out as just, you're stretching. Same with your legs. You know, you're really stretching, and I actually have my right. But it's going to be opposite. If my right arm is up, then you know your left leg's forward. It's kind of like cross crawl, or it has elements of the cross crawl in it. For those of you that don't know what cross crawl is or have never heard of it, I had never heard of it until B.E.S.T also. But what the cross crawl is it's the way that babies learn how to move. Now, if you're thinking, you know, or if you can, I don't know, but you're down on all fours on the ground and you're crawling. If you pick up your right side, both right leg and right arm, your whole right side at the same time, you're going to fall over. Same with if you pick up your left side, you're going to fall over that way. You can't do that. You have to have balance. And so what the cross crawl does is it's crossed. So I can, however, move my right arm and my left leg, and then my left arm and my right leg, and that's actually going to get me momentum. And if you ever watched a baby learn how to crawl, first they'll kind of scoot, you know, trying to do both arms or both sides, not both sides, sorry, same sides, and it doesn't work out for them until they get that they have to cross crawl. Now, this is very fundamentally important from what I've understood and read, because, again, we'll go back to eye patching. My right eye is connected to the left brain. My left eye, let's do that opposite because of the camera, but my left eye is controlled by my right brain. And so it's going to be the same thing with my left arm. My left arm is going to be controlled by my right brain. My right arm is going to be controlled by my left brain. So as I'm moving cross-crawled, moving my right arm with my left leg, my right leg with my left arm, then I can get somewhere and I can start moving. Well, not only what is that doing, that's firing both hemispheres or both parts of the brain, because, again, my right arm is controlled by my left brain. So my left brain has to say, hey, you know, move forward. But at the same time, my right brain has to tell the left leg, hey, move forward. It's a cross crawl. And that's also part of the power with the Morter March, is that we're crossing, we're having our right arm up, so our left leg's forward. If we're having our left arm up, our right leg's forward. I know I did that backwards, but you understand. So we have a cross crawl, if you will, but it's not crawl, but we have a cross in our body with these circuits. Now, part of what this is doing, and this is what I think is really awesome, is you have what's called a reticulating activating filter, if I said that right. And what that does is that helps, it's almost like a guard at your subconscious. It helps keep out negative or false beliefs, because you don't want to just run or put anything you want in your subconscious. That could be bad, especially if it's a negative or false belief or thought pattern. Then we definitely want to clear that out and get that out, and that's part of what the Morter March as well as B.E.S.T treatments can do for you. So back to the Morter March. Again, you can choose whatever goal. I said health today. You know, if it's that job that you wanted, if it's, as far as I could tell, you know, you can use this for whatever. I have not heard of anybody using this to win the lottery and have it do so. Maybe I'll try that and we'll see. And then when I'm a rich millionaire, no. So yeah, with the Morter March, again, you do this standing. Let's say if I step forward with my left foot first, so my right arm goes up, and then I close my left eye because it's the furthest one from my arm, and I cock my head a little bit towards it, and I'm looking up at my thumb. And again, I'm going to hold my breath. Take a deep breath and hold it, or if you want to be really brave, you can blow all your air out and hold it. Difference is when you take a deep breath and hold it, you have a little bit of oxygen that you're absorbing, and then so you can usually hold your breath a little bit longer. What you want to do is maybe hold your breath out, and it kind of deprives you of oxygen, gets a little bit more worried. Sorry, what I was saying with the reticulating activating filter was it's designed to help keep certain things out of the subconscious. And so when you're doing this, when you're holding this position and you're holding your breath and you're all kind of stretching out, and it's weird, and I'm actually turning my shoulders. You don't want to do that. You just want to straight shoulders, but still stretch out your arm. Reach for the sky. No, you're also stretching with your feet too. What that's doing is that's busying the body, and it's busying the subconscious, or this filter, if you will, which acts as the guard. And then whatever positive thoughts, I'm thankful and grateful for my wonderful health, then can help get slipped into the subconscious. And the subconscious is the powerhouse of our bodies in a sense. It controls trillions of cells, breathing, heart pumping blood, all that, things that we don't even think about, and it just happens. Nervous system, or maybe not nervous system, immune system, things like that. The subconscious is in control of that. And so what this does is help put positive beliefs into that subconscious. If it's a computer, which a lot of people can kind of get that, we're programming the subconscious for good positive programs, if you will. And so that's something that the Morter March will help you with. It's really awesome technique. It's kind of like eye patching. You want to do it a few minutes in the morning and a few minutes at night, usually, like it said, twice a day. Now, would I recommend doing this with eye patching? No, probably not. They're different. They're going to work a little different. Again, I think the eye patching is more to help open the communication between both sides of your brain, where this is more how to get, if I'm saying this right, proper beliefs in your subconscious. I'm going to take this a little bit back. As far as energy work, a lot of people say, the universe answers to your vibration or your frequency. It doesn't necessarily answer to your wants or needs. And so if you're vibrating that, if your subconscious has that belief in there, and that's what it's putting out into the universe, if you will, like if you imagined you're an antenna and you're putting out a signal into the universe, and then that signal, whatever it is, good or bad, is coming back to you. Because again, things flow. You put out good energy is going to come back to you. And again, I'm still learning this, so let's try and get somebody on here like Dr. Tom or Ted, or even my mentor Chris, and they can maybe explain this a little bit better. But this is how I've understood it, and this, from what I've gathered, you'll want to put in good, positive things. And again, this one just says, I'm thankful and grateful for whatever goal. Health is an easy one, so that's just what I filled it with. Now, I have mentioned I've had surgeries and stuff, and so for me, I even focus on that. I'm thankful and grateful for that I don't need another one, that everything's running good, and that it's all working properly. You can do whatever. Now, there is a couple stories. One of them was through third, fourth person. Like I've heard about this. I don't know, but there was a gentleman. He was a B.E.S.T practitioner. Might have been a chiropractor. I don't remember on that detail, but this gentleman, who's a B.E.S.T practitioner, and he was having a heart murmur or a rhythmic beating, if you will. He went into the doctors. They were like, "Oh, this isn't good. I'm not sure exactly what happened." Sent him home. Second time, I guess it came back. Maybe this is still the first time. But they basically told him, if you come back and your heart's doing this again, we're going to put a pacemaker in you. And he did not want that. Like myself, I did. I don't want anything that's not supposed to be in there, if that makes sense. And don't get me wrong, pacemakers definitely have saved lives, and they've helped some people. But if you don't need one, if it's not broke, why fix it, kind of thing. Now, to them, maybe it was broke. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. They tell this guy, if you come back here and your heart's, has this rhythmic beating, then we're gonna put a pacemaker in you almost. And so he was out surfing, and it started happening, and he had to swim to the beach, which, from what I understand, was quite a struggle because of his body was in this odd state. I don't know if it was shock. I'm not sure exactly, but he had this going on, and he knew it was serious. I don't know about life-threatening, but it was very serious. And so he was able to make it to the beach, and immediately he started doing Morter March. And he said, "I'm thankful and grateful for a healthy heart." As far as I understand, I think I would have added, "I'm thankful and grateful for a happy, healthy heart." But anyway, just me being silly. The guy, he did this, and he did this for a while, for 2-3 minutes, 4 minutes, or maybe not that, for about 10 minutes, because normally you do it for about 5 minutes, because you do it three times on each side. You do your right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, and then you'd be done, because it's 3 times each side. So anyway, he did that on the beach. The heart rhythmic, or the irregular beats subsided, and it went back to normal, and he didn't have to go to the hospital. He was very thankful and grateful for it. And as far as I know, that was the one time. Now, I don't know if it had happened recently or since then. From what I've heard, that's one of the stories with Morter March. My mentors, great people I've mentioned before, they came up, they thought, well, if this is going to help clear out my negative, say, thought patterns, or maybe not clear them out, but overwrite them with good, positive ones. If I can take the feeling of me not being good enough and sit here in the Morter March and think, I'm thankful and grateful for being a wonderful person. I'm thankful and grateful for being loved and respected. I'm not sure exactly how they worded it again. You can play with it yourself. But they wanted to start writing negative, overriding. They want to not start writing negative. They wanted to start overriding the negative beliefs and thought patterns that they had, and more, from what I understand, beliefs. But this helps with the thought patterns as well, because it's part of beliefs, which we can get into that more. Anyway, so they start talking, or they start doing Morter March, but they think if 5 minutes, roughly 10, because, I guess 5 minutes should be all 3 sides. So they think if I do this for 5 minutes a day, and this is gonna help me quite a bit, what if I did this for 30 minutes a day, or an hour? Now, they did that, and it is a workout. I remember my mentor saying at one point in time he had to take off his shirt because he was getting so hot, and he started sweating, and he had to even stop and get some water and drink it, because it physically he could feel it. It wasn't just a mental thing. It was physically he was getting tired. It does say here even that it's a workout, or a type of workout. Anyway, and so he started doing this for 20-30 minutes at a time. It jumped it was crazy how the growth that I personally saw with him, and as far as I know, obviously he was getting B.E.S.T treatments. They started doing this even more so, and I say they because it's my aunt and uncle, husband and wife team, and that's, again, I think also part of their power, I guess, if you will. Their strength is that they both work on each other, and when she can't give him a treatment, or he can't give her a treatment, then they can go and do Morter March by themselves. And then again, they invented, in a sense, or they pioneered this Morter March Extreme, and we call it extreme because 5 minutes is all you really need to do. Roughly 10 minutes, 5 in the morning, 5 at night. But they're doing an hour at a time, really pushing these positive thoughts, these positive feelings, I guess, if you will, into their subconscious. And then again, the subconscious is the powerhouse that controls most everything in the body. Now, there are certain things I can control. I control my breath. Little things like that. I control my eyes. But if I were to hold my breath long enough that I passed out, going unconscious, it would slip back to my subconscious, and it would have me start breathing again. It would take control of the system, and it would start functioning to allow me to live. And that's something else that I thought was really interesting when studying this, is they talked about the subconscious's only job is to keep you alive. So it doesn't matter how much money is in your bank account. It doesn't matter, if you've got to work the rest of the week. It doesn't understand that kind of stuff. It just understands it's got to keep you alive. And as long as you're alive, then that's good. And that's part of why it will put you into fight or flight, is because its job is to keep you alive. And so if you're seeing a big, scary saber-tooth tiger, talking ancestry, or a bear or whatever, you're going to go into fight or flight because it wants you to stay alive. And that's part of this is, sometimes it picks up negative beliefs or patterns, and so we put positive ones in or overwrite the negatives with positives. And that's really what this Morter March helps with and does. And it's very powerful, really awesome technique. I'll see if maybe I can even clear out some space and demonstrate it for you guys better. But yeah, if anything, I'll just try and find a good video, link it below. You guys can watch that after this. And they'll probably even have some great information on the Morter March as well. Looks like we're actually running out of time here pretty quick, which we haven't even got to a meditation or mantra. That's right, we'll go a little bit over. Let's get into a mantra meditation before we do run out of time. Last time, which was Friday, this was the card, and it's natural flow of time. And so let's see what this week's is, or today's. That's something else too. I thought about maybe even tailoring this down to once or twice a week, and then maybe even extending it. I think a half an hour is long enough. I know all of our lives get pretty busy. Same with mine. I've got houses to clean up, kids to help with homework, all kinds of fun stuff, work to get done, videos to edit, more of this crazy awesome stuff to study and learn to bring to you guys. And again, I want to start even getting some people on here to where maybe we can interview. Yeah, all in due time. If you have any questions with the Morter March, please put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability, or point you to someone who can, in a sense, or maybe not someone, but somewhere, some websites or whatnot. I do the Morter March. There are times where I get in the habit and I'll do it like for a week or a month straight, and then there's times where I kind of follow the habit because I get into eye patching or into some other morning meditation, and there's other mornings where I stayed up too late and I kind of sleep in and I wake up and don't have time because I'm running and I'm in a hurry, and it is what it is. Work with your schedule. Don't try to force yourself into what I do or what somebody else does. Work with what you have. If you're not a morning person, then maybe afternoon march. No. And it doesn't matter if you're working graveyards. It's just before you go to bed and when you wake up, and it's supposed to help wire your brain to a better, greater you, if I may say that. And again, that's just how I understand it. I encourage you to study this yourself. Again, I'm going to get some experts on here and we can pick their brains, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, okay, and today's card is You Are That Which You Seek. It's kind of a cool, looks like an eye and some mountains, and I don't know, it's kind of crazy, kind of cool. There's the words. I don't know how you could see that, but you are that which you seek. Say, seek and ye shall find. I think that's another Bible verse, but you are that which you seek. That art thou. Alrighty. I am that. I'm reading from the book. This is, that art thou. I am that. I am that which I seek. Supreme inner self. He is in me and I am in him. We are part of all oneness. He is the essence of our soul. He is the truth. He is the self. Thou art that. Experience exists in each of us. That very experience is consciousness itself. The reality of experience exists in each of us. In everything, therefore, that art thou. We don't have to experience everything others do to get the benefit of learning. We share in the experience through our expression of oneness and connection. The expression of infinite oneness is in all human nature. There are moments when every man feels connected with the universe and rushes forth to express it, which is often shown in love and sympathy for others. This is the base of all our ethics and morality. That thou art. That which you seek is seeking you. That which you seek is seeking you. Okay. That's kind of cool. So that's the card for today. That's very interesting. Alright, we'll get into the chanting. Again, I'm running out of time. Alright. You are that which you seek. Tahat Vaham Asi. 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 Feeling that in my gut, like my stomach. That was interesting. Wow. You are that which you seek. I see greatness. No. I hope we all seek greatness, and I believe that we all are or have it in one way, shape, or form. Tahat Vaham Asi. Yeah, with the Morter March, again, if you understood it, I recommend you try it. It's awesome, awesome technique. It's kind of like eye patching. It's something you can do by yourself. You don't necessarily need to go to a B.E.S.T practitioner or rapid eye specialist, any of that stuff. I use those because, again, that's how I heard about them. Morter March was with B.E.S.T Bio-Energetic Synchronization Technique, and the eye patching I learned through the Rapid Eye Institute. Now, I don't know if eye patching was... Well, actually, I do know from my studies, from what it was saying, that eye patching was developed or was... it is its own therapy and was pioneered by someone else, where Rapid Eye Institute saw how powerful it was, what a great technique was, and they picked it up and ran with it. Where Morter March was something that came about with B.E.S.T. It was something that they pioneered and invented for their clients in between classes, in between sessions. I shouldn't say classes, in between treatments, however you want to think of that or say that. So, Morter March, great stuff, very powerful. Same with the eye patching. I recommend you look into both. I think it's awesome. I think it's wonderful. That's why I try to bring you guys this information. I hope you have a wonderful day. I got to get out of here. Thank you so much for being here.